every now and then I'll look at an RV and I just kind of think to myself, how did they pull that off? At least that's kind of what I asked myself when I first looked at this. Hey, everybody, my name is Josh Rving. This is a new model from the Influence family of Grand Design. If you're not familiar with this, last year they kind of reinvented the Solitude S Class into Influence to give it a little bit of its own identity, and it's really starting to find its stride. Usually, when I see an awesome wraparound rear kitchen like this and just a killer living room arrangement with opposing slides like that, you're like, you're 40 feet. You're 40 feet cold. This is like 35'11". This is closer to 36 feet. And I love that it's not just another 35-foot rear lounge. The RV industry is so oversaturated with 35-foot triple slide fifth wheels that just have a sofa in the back and a TV across from a theater seat. And there's nothing wrong with that arrangement. It's very good and works for a lot of people. Sometimes I just want something different. And I tell you what, I love rear kitchens. And I saw this, I'm like, I'm putting the camera on this thing. The amount of countertop prep space and storage in this just absolutely smokes anything a rear living room this size is going to be able to offer. We still have the double power awnings. There's opportunity for outdoor entertainment. The window coverage in this is amazing. Influence is a wide body product, so you're getting maximum room all the way through. And they kind of have a bedroom bathroom super slide where they continued the bedroom slide through into the bathroom, and it opens that up to just an extreme degree. And it's one of the only times that I'm actually kind of okay with the dual entry bathroom. It's one of the few times that really makes sense to me. There's a bunch of other things on this one. I haven't closed it up for road mode yet. I do suspect, like most rear kitchens, when we close it up, we're probably going to lose access to the kitchen or at least the refrigerator. We'll double check for you though. And if you like how we still go through all the paces to get you all the footage, hit that subscribe button. Let us know we're doing a good job. And let's get through this thing because I like what I see. And again, this is where the RV got me. When I stepped inside, I saw the length of this. I saw the weight of it. I'm like, okay, so this is just the Influence triple slide rear lounge. Nope. No, not even close, actually. I have always had an affinity for rear kitchens. I don't know why. Now, I will say, if I was going to be mostly parking this RV and towing it less, I'd probably go with something like this. If I was going to be towing more often and, going further distances, I would probably go with the conventional rear lounge. Just because if you think about where all of the kitchen storage is in this RV, it's all the way behind the axles at the furthest part of the RV back. Now, again, it's not the longest RV I've seen with a rear kitchen, but it's long enough that I think it bears consideration. However, they have good tires. They've got the MORryde suspension package on this. That could work. Now, something that throws people off. Influence begins the Grand Design luxury fifth wheel family, but there's a whole level above this, and you move from Influence to Solitude. So if you're looking for things like independent suspension, if you're looking for things like the ability to have dishwashers, that's where Solitude comes in. Influence gives you the general grandeur of a big fifth wheel without the ultra over-the-top plushy luxury kind of things, and that's where Solitude comes in. So that's kind of the split between the luxury fifth wheel family there. But I am such a fan of rear kitchens. I love wraparound seating like this, and this one gives me both. And as you've noticed, we've got insane breeze window coverage through the whole thing. Now, another thing that's kind of cool is a lot of the cabinetry here is kind of a little bit of a step up from a reflection, and then Solitude will go another level above this on their cabinetry, so it can get pretty swanky in here pretty quick. We are outfitted with the triple air conditioner today, as I'm operating from memory from last year. This may have changed. Last year, it was dual air standard with an optional factory third air, but you couldn't add the third air after the fact. I don't know if that has changed since then. We do have solid surface counters, and we have a lot of them. They wrap around like crazy here. I'm estimating, and we're going to double check. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3 sets of power outlets under the overhead cabinets. They're a little small. Hopefully, Mr. Garrett, the handy RV nerd video editor, can give us a couple little circles on the screen or something to help point those out to make them a little more obvious and easy to see. But what I love about this is the kitchen wraps around the campsite cook, but also there's a clarity of definition in this floor plan. You know what is the kitchen versus what is the living room. There's not a lot of exchange and or bleed over. but it's still kind of open air. So if the campsite cook wants to be standing at that countertop looking forward or just over their shoulder, they can keep an eye on I don't know. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Why did that come out of my mouth? That's not even remotely culturally topically interesting right now. Maybe they're watching America's Got Talent. I don't know. Is that more current? That feels like a show that's on TV more often now, right? Anyway, up top here, we have a nicely a tall ceiling. Actually, let me give you a size demo of that. I think I said ceiling. I mean, well, yeah, ceiling, slide ceiling. Anyway, but I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall. You're going to see me stand in the shower in a minute. Like, you can see my head doesn't even come up to the window valance. Just to help you out, like, here's a phone for reference above my head. Like, there's, what, a good 10 inches above my head? Something like that. There's some serious space up here. So if you stand up like me, you're not knocking your noggin, which is something I'm pretty good at, actually. I also really like the giant window right next to the door. Somebody knocks on the door, if you're upstairs or downstairs, you can just kind of peek around the corner and see who it is. Decide if you need to put on pants. You know, just the necessities. I have found answering the door without wearing pants is a good way to either never have to talk to the neighbors again or be invited over for dinner. And you know what? If I keep going where those of you who watch me, you know where I was going with this. It's nothing appropriate. I'm just going to move on from there before I get fired. So again, I was talking about the campsite cook. I'm standing like right at the bar right here. I love this. I love that I can still be in the entertainment and see what's going on. Now, the TV could probably be a little bigger. It's probably like a 40-inch. It's not terrible by any stretch. And I am standing back behind the theater seat. You know, when you're down here, the TV is angled up a little bit, but that's about the same that I have in my house. I don't find any problems with that. That works for me pretty well. The windows all have blackout roller shades as well. So if you really want to get the sunshine and the nosy neighbors out of here, it's as easy as it's like a parachute. You just pull a ripcord. Speaking of parachutes and ripcords, if yours fails to open, you've got the rest of your life to think about it. Think about that. Now, when I opened this up, I was like, oh, I'll show them the hide-a-bed. And then it wasn't a hide-a-bed. And it took me a second, but I figured out why. Because the slide out is not deep enough to house a hide-a-bed. It's actually a shallow slide over there. So the thing is, it can still be a sleeper. Because all you got to do is pop the back cushions off. And now you've got a long adult-sized sleeping space. I mean, Aunt Rita kicks Uncle Gary out for the night. You still got a spot there. It also had that bottom drawer slid shut again. Son of a gun. Okay, well, you have a pair of these crazy long extension drawers. And actually, if I slowly wrap you around this corner, I don't use a fisheye wide angle lens. So sometimes stuff like this is tricky and it takes a while, but I have to go slow. But look at this. You know why I love this? Anytime you have these peninsula counters, you have a huge chunk of space under the L corner you can't get to. Grand Design solved for that. They solved for that, and they absolutely crushed it. Also, up top here, I like this new drop-down spice rack. The thing is, it's smart in how it works, but it doesn't work the way you would think. Like, when you pull it out, you want to start yanking down, you push up to disengage, which, as soon as I did it, made a lot more sense. Because, you know, if you pulled down to drop it, then everything that you try to get out of it would just fall on you when you opened it, and that would suck. But overall, I mean, the total storage area back here is pretty excellent, I think. Like, I love how many shelves they throw in the cabinets, but also some tall shelves, some short shelves. So if you got boxes of mac and cheese and stovetop, like, you got the perfect place for it. But you got tall pitchers because you want to make yourself some iced tea or something like that. There you go. I was going to say some sweet tea, but being a northern Yankee boy, if I start talking about sweet tea, my southern friends, their heads start to explode because they don't understand. I actually lived in the South for a little bit, and I actually know what sweet tea is. And it's diabetes in a glass, and I love it. Holy crap, I haven't opened that yet. Again, really excellent use of space. Now, it is awkwardly around the corner there, but like, still throwing some shelving space in there, still really utilizing that space. That is awesome. You know, here's what I would do a little different. What do you think about this idea? It'd probably cost a couple bucks, but I would actually move the trash can to under that rear corner. I would put in a drop-in garbage little slot through the countertop, like a little removable pop top. And then I would put a baggage door on the outside where you could empty that garbage, off the sewer side of the RV. That's a thing that I would personally like, but it would probably cost a couple bucks. Maybe that's not in the plans. Maybe nobody thought of it. I don't know. All I know is that goes all the way up to the ceiling. You better bring yourself a step stool. I also love that the slot above the fridge, look at this. Not only does it hold itself open, let me get around the sofa, but they didn't make it deep all the way to the sidewall. And at a glance, it does feel like a waste. But if it went all the way to the sidewall, oh God, I'm tripping over the couch. But if it went all the way to the sidewall, look how deep that would be. It'd be really, really hard to get to. If something shifted back there, oh, my mother would be spitting nails trying to get to stuff down there. This is all 12 volt, by the way. It's like a 20 cubic foot 12 volt fridge. But wait, there's more. Got the handy little pet dish station under the fridge there. Now that plastic insert could just be removed if you don't have a pet or if you don't like it there. You don't have to use it there. But look at this. Wow. As if we didn't have enough pantry space. And now all of it, again, slides open to you. I love it. Simple stuff like that. I don't know if people realize how useful it is. Now, speaking of simplicity, do you notice how that piece of glass down there is kind of glowing a little bit? Your speaker, like entertainment head system, is actually kind of hidden away back here with a couple handy little remote control slots or like phone slots. But let me see if I can get my hand on it. There's a little lock right there. Boop. Little contraband storage drawer where we can keep all kinds of different things like our smart TV remote controls. But look at the extra power outlets and stuff we have in here. So if you need a little spot to be able to charge different things, you got the perfect little hidden place for it. But make sure you keep that thing closed and you relatch it for transit. Otherwise, that slide fascia is going to absolutely destroy that mantle right there. Ooh. I kind of didn't notice these when I went through this at first. All right, what do we got here? We have our converter, power management box kind of system, our smart command control panel, inverter controller, because the one that we're looking at today does have their advanced solar package. We'll talk about that more outside. And then just floor to ceiling frickin' space right here. So that if we have, a bunch of hats or something, we got the perfect spot for it. Now, the upper deck is very interesting. Holy crap, that's a big window on the right-hand side. Jeez, oh, Pete's. It is a dual entry bedroom and bathroom, which normally, I don't normally love that. But here's the thing. I'm going to put this door right in your face. We come around the corner here. What you actually see is it's an upper deck, basically super slide that runs you over here into the bathroom. So the bathroom sink and storage over here, it's actually located in the slide off the floor plan, which just expands the bathroom space dramatically. And notice, okay, so while we're staring up top, the upper deck headroom in this is amazing. Look at my head on the left-hand side. The shower is a true floor flush shower, all one-piece fiberglass. I mean, there's tons of room above my head. Remember when I stood in that slide out and I showed you how much space was there? We're kind of talking the same thing. You saw that there's some good linen space on the left-hand side right there. But the porcelain foot flush stool staring at us, it almost looks like it's smiling. Why does that look like it's smiling to me? Am I tired? That's creepy, right? Anyway, there's amazing space around it. But not everybody loves a dual entry bedroom and bath. So, to each their own. And if you don't like that, that's okay. There's plenty of other floor plans. But it was an interesting thing. One of the cool things this does allow for is one of the best side stands in an east-west bed slide I think I've seen in a very long time. So if you actually want to have like a little desk fan or lamp or something like that, CPAP machine next to you, you have just the perfect place for it right there. The little decorative headboard is kind of nice. The upper slat, by the way, you see how it's creating a little bit of a shelf? If you look really closely, that can actually fold down. So if you don't want it to be a little decorative shelf, it can just be a decorative head bonker, I guess. Something like that. I believe queen or king bed. We're looking at the RV, the king option right here. That's, to be fair, how you're going to find, I think, most influence models. And the front end of this, it's just tons of storage. It's just tons of storage. Real quick, I do want to point out, you do have some household and USB outlets right there that are easy to miss. But our primary closet space, because this has that like radius shaped nose cap, They are really crafty in how they do this, and I mean that in literally a double entendre because it's smart and it's really cool how they have crafted all the radius corners here. And a place to put yesterday's clothes now that it's today is one of the most underrated features of RV design out there. Kind of like garbage cans and kitchen sinks. RV manufacturers are finally getting wise to that. And of course, stackable washer dryer prep over here. But if you don't need that, it's either just extra dresser space or we have the additional closet space. And I noticed that they have that door fully framed out. That's kind of nice just to help everything stay a little more square the way it's supposed to be. We are enjoying our local Radar Live. First alert weather, Radar Live, news at 11. For the folks watching this, weeks and weeks ago when I recorded this, there was a tornado watch in the Grange, so you're going to want to be careful. Pretty straightforward. I didn't mention this in the kitchen, but I do now that I have a good chance to show you. One, you get to see how deep the dresser drawers are in the bedroom, but also this is super clean and nicely finished off the way that they have this put together. Also, a second contraband storage space. Not super big, but also not wasted. I like that. Here's a quick note. We're looking at a king bed, but queen is available, and you can tell because the bed base under the king bed is actually queen sized. So if you did want to put a queen in it or just get one with a queen, that is available. And it occurs to me, I never opened this drawer space for you. And the bathroom actually has a really cool feature. First of all, your little bedside knickknacks drawer right here. And that is a much bigger drawer for the more unmentionables, your lacy Crocs, socks, and undies, as it were. Look at this top drawer, though. This is actually a powered drawer for something like blow dryers or something like that, or like recharging a little electric razor or something like that. It's those extra little, just a touch more home style features that you get here. Okay, egg on my face. I forgot to close all the drawers and everything before I closed the slides, and I still had the bed left up. So obviously going down the road, this isn't how you're going to use it right here. So just ignore my stupidity. But can you get up to the bedroom? Yes. It's a Schwintek bed slide. So it's not a bed that should probably be occupied in transit. That's the thing you should keep in mind. It looks like I lucked out because I also failed to close the bathroom cabinet door there, and thankfully it didn't conflict with the toilet and break. But if you had to, going down the road, you'd still be able to get to the toilet, probably even the shower, now that I look at that right there. Trick with the rear kitchen and opposing slides and a big sofa and all that stuff is you're not going to be able to get to the back end of this thing when it's closed up. Now, I want to mention for quick demo purposes, I shoved the sofa seat here. That's not where it's supposed to go in transit. It's supposed to either get loaded onto that and strapped down or kind of shoved in by the dining area. This is just a quick look here. Somebody might argue, well, you could climb over this chair and then climb over the countertop and get back to the fridge. I don't consider that reasonable travel access, so I'm not going to try to smoke screen, and I'm not going to stretch it that far. And if you appreciate the candid way we approach this, hit that subscribe button, and let's hop outdoors. Now, when we step outside, I like to take this opportunity to kind of touch on tunity. Yeah, okay, I think I threw an extra syllable in there. I'm not sure. I don't really care, actually, now that I think about it. I like to take the chance to talk about towability on an RV like this. What's it going to take? Looking at the weights and the measures there, in theory, there might be some heavy-duty 3/4 tons that would work here. When we start getting into a full profile, wide body fifth wheel like this, I personally feel very, I don't know how else to describe it other than that. Uncomfortable, I guess, would be an easy description about anything less than a 1 ton of some variety. That feels like a better fit to me. I want to point out a couple details while we're over here. There were a bunch of people checking it out over on the campsite. I'll get back there in a minute. But we're going to do this one backwards today. We've got the 3,000-pound towing hitch on the back. This does have 2 sewer outlets. You've got a kitchen gray tank outlet all the way in the back. Just in front of that, under the belly, you do have a sewer hose kind of holder tube, by the way. Now, working our way up, taking a look down here, they're putting some very nice tires on this. We have Cooper H-rated tires on these, so some very reliable roadworthy tires, plus the MoreRide suspension package. What you're not really seeing, though, is the Dexter Tow Assist system. So that is both electronic anti-sway as well as anti-lock braking factory standard on these. And that's an amazing 1-2 punch combo to give you a lot more safety and peace of mind while you are towing down the road. And actually, Grand Design was the first mainstream towable manufacturer to standardize anti-lock braking, and now again including the electronic anti-sway in that as well. Now, something I noticed, they put a holdback catch on this baggage door so that this baggage door cannot swing open like the one over there is doing. This door can't swing open any further, so it can't be covering the water heater or the furnace exhaust, so you don't end up, barbecuing a hole through the door of your RV. And this is not a drop frame front fifth wheel compartment. I think it's actually bigger though. It's because this has that exaggerated longer upper deck. That is huge. Now, in case you were curious, this door wouldn't normally swing. I wanted to take a chance to show you there's one propane tank here, one on the other side. I don't always show those to people, but they did think ahead and they put a magnet hold back down there. So you saw how the door was dancing in the breeze, and now snot, people. Your lower slides, those are electric rack and pinion. Your upper deck slide, that is a Schwintek system. So if you're kind of curious, if you have preferences one way or the other, I like to point those out so you know what you're looking at here. This is 6-point auto leveling, by the way. When you move up from reflection into influence, that's what you get. So in the Grand Design family, Solitude sits at the top of the heap, basically, while reflection is the mid-size, and this is sort of the mama bear in between. Now that front compartment, it looks kind of bare right here on video, but that actually is basically there's perforated punch outs in it, so that if you wanted to put a generator in there, it actually does have the ability to have that done. Now recently here, Grand Design has stepped up in a couple ways for their customers, based, on a very, very loud, outspoken demand. And I think it's awesome that the consumer base of the RV industry was able to kind of speak up together and accomplish that. But they actually made 2 enhancements to their warranties. The first of which is, instead of just a 1+3 warranty, so 1-year RV warranty, 3-year structural, they added a 5-year frame warranty onto what they're doing. And then on top of that, they came back later because people said, yeah, but what about second owners? Most RV warranties don't transfer. And a lot of people, oh, that screws shut. This is an access panel to behind your water hookups, but it screws shut. And there's a tie back and a screw shut, so it's double secured, I guess. Anyway, what I was getting at is customers said, yeah, but what about second owners? So they also added, not only is it a 1-year plus 3-year plus 5-year coverage, they also made it transferable to subsequent owners. And I think that is really, really awesome. Now, I'm going to put my hand in front of your face because I'm already backed up. Right down under there, there's a gas grill quick connect. So if you want to be outside doing some grilling, you got the perfect spot for it. The dual power awnings are nice for the coverage they provide, but when you have an entry door right on the edge of an awning split like that, which is unavoidable on this floor plan, then, you're going to get water in the face. If you're walking in and out when it's a light rain, you're going to get water in the face. These are also running on Dexter axles, by the way. Now, something that you can do on these that it looks very impressive, and I've done it on video in the past. You may have noticed how I've kind of backed off on doing it because it kind of feels like a little bit of a cheese thing sometimes, is you can absolutely UFC hammer fist the sides of the slide outs on these. And I don't mean the face side. I mean the slide side over there, because they're fully laminated. And there's cool advantages to that. You get some nice, even, insulation quality because it's all the same. You get more sound dampening typically. It is a lot harder to run wiring through a laminated slide wall. A lot of people think it's stronger structurally, and that's just not true. You can make a non-laminated wall just as strong. It just depends on the exact execution of that manufacturer. Now, this I thought was interesting. It's obviously prepped to be an outdoor entertainment area, but since we're on an influence, it's not going to include a factory standard outdoor TV. So let me ask you, what would you do with that? Would you add a TV? Would you put the zombie apocalypse arsenal in there? Like, how would you outfit this thing? And while you're probably not answering that question in the comments section for me, let's talk solar. So by default, up on the roof, you'll find a single 330 watt panel, runs all the wiring down to the charge controller, all that kind of stuff. It's a battery tender. It's a solid battery tender, but if you think about it, this has a large 12 volt fridge. Now, if you're going to be camping where there's tons of cloud coverage like this all the time, that's probably still not enough solar to completely offset everything. So just trying to be real and candid with you, but they do offer an expanded package. It will add a second 330 watt panel, and it will include a 2000 watt inverter, which the RV is prepped for regardless. So you, after the fact, can basically, you could add another panel, you could add the inverter later if you want to, but it is sometimes nice just to get stuff straight from the factory. Like if you're going to order the RV, it just feels so easy just to check that box, doesn't it? So there you go. Let me know what you think about it. Wasn't necessarily trying to rhyme at all, but there we are. Appreciate you tuning in once again. As I tend to do, I'll leave you links in the video description for MSRP and availability. We do offer discounted sale pricing, but in the case of Grand Design, we're not able to publish anything but MSRP on our website. It's just part of their advertising guidelines. Now, I also try to leave you links in the video description for similar floor plans from other builders. But anyone else I can think of, their RV is like 40 plus feet. Now, I will say Pinnacle has an awesome version of this, but it's back to that front bath ensuite plus half bath that makes it 40 foot. And don't get me wrong, that is an amazing floor plan for sure. So if you like this, but you just need more, look at that Pinnacle. Or if you look at that Pinnacle and you're like, I don't need all that, man, this is the answer right here. If you distill down the goodness, that's what we end up with. So let me know what you think and what you like, what you don't. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.